Aaron Rodgers' first press conference in training camp with the Jets. As you know, training camps are going to start opening all over the NFL. Perloff, we're getting a lot of rookies that have been reporting, but this is the Jets full bore. This is veterans. This is rookies. They're playing in the Hall of Fame game, so they get to open up a little bit earlier, I guess, than everyone else. So Rodgers, as we know, not shying away from any of the expectations. He's been huge on this.
Yeah.
Talking about Lombardi Trophy, getting lonely, the Lombardi Trophy from 1969 with Joe Namath. He's leaned into all of this so much. What does he have to do to make this hype pay off? I mean, he's up there talking about Hard Knocks. There is no secrets here. He said about Hard Knocks, he's excited for everyone to see their process.
Yeah, of course he is. I mean, wait, so let me get this right. Aaron Rodgers was talking to a microphone today and saying a bunch of things. We're going to be so sick of this dude by the time the season starts. If you're not a New Yorker, you're going to hate the Jets. They're going to be the most hated team in the NFL without even a close second. That's a fact. Second of all, they have to get to at least the conference title game, because if they fall out in the divisional round, people are going to hate them so much that they're just going to tear them shred to shred. They're going to say, look, Aaron, you said all this stuff and you did not deliver. And people are going to totally revel in the Jets eventually losing if they don't go all the way.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. People are going to love it if the Jets fall, okay? People love it when the Jets falter, when the Jets suck. Like there's some taking satisfaction out of like having the whipping boy of the NFL. It's like they can be the punchline all the time. The Browns kind of operate in this area too. The Lions have operated.
Bengals used to be that
Buffalo
way.
Bills have operated in this area in the past. You become this punchline, and I think the NFL loves having that. And so people are going to love this if Rodgers fails. But I got to be honest, like, Rodgers is using his charisma here is on like a 10. Mm-hmm. Now, here's a little bit from today. This is just like an hour ago. Rodgers talking about how he's become more patient in his old age.
I feel like I've grown a lot over the years. Now, some of that is the well-documented plant medicine journeys that I've talked about, but the other is perspective as you get older. And yeah, I would say maybe earlier in my career I was a little more easily angered, and I feel like I'm a little less triggered as I've gotten older.
Well, that's not true. He's definitely triggered all the time. But it's funny about the plant-based medicine. I'm telling you, I've said that this guy is microdosing something every day. He is so happy. And it's, his mind-altering and mind-bending journeys that he's gone on, Perloff, that have made him the more patient man you see today.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, here's the thing with NFL quarterbacks. When there's a microphone in front of them and they're speaking words, those words are lies. Everything Aaron Rodgers is saying is garbage. It's just total
all we
garbage.
Have to go on.
Yeah, but it's
loves
actually
plant-based stuff. That's not garbage.
The more you listen to him, the less you actually know what's happening with the Jets. Like that's why no one wants to see Hard Knocks anymore, because you're not really getting what's happening. You think you're behind the scenes with these teams? No way.
Well, especially if they're going to take away like watching the guys getting cut, which is like kind of the more truer, more agonizing, moments. That's what makes it sort of compelling. Everyone can do a glossy, documentary or whatever about their team.
Yeah, I do think even that part though, that's not. Say you really, really want to figure out, is this team going to hit their win total in Vegas? Watching Hard Knocks is not going to tell you that, because you're only getting part of the story.
Sure.
So I think Aaron Rodgers is giving you part of the story, and you nailed it right there. When he says, I'm an older, more calm guy who's not going to fight back when people criticize me, that's very hard to believe. I have trouble believing most of what he says.
Wait. Let's not get it twisted. That's not the question that he was asked there. That wasn't about criticism. That question about patience was about working in the young guys. And working in the young receivers, and about training camp and making every rep count.
Did he say he was a younger man? He was angrier with his teammates?
Yes, like he had a very short fuse apparently in a lot of years in Green Bay. If guys would screw things up and make mental mistakes, he was getting very, very upset. He said he's getting a little bit better with that now.
Well, hold on. Didn't last offseason he's call out all of his receivers and tell them to get less reps because they were missing? Like, I feel like he hasn't grown up that much in 1 year.
Listen, in his mind, he's on a magic carpet ride, Samter. He doesn't know.
For him, that probably feels like it was 12 years ago. But no, that was last year, Aaron.
I know, but when you're, when you're high as the sky, like, what is it? What's time? And I'm not alleging that he's high now. We just know that he's gone on many, many trips.
I'm sure he said all the same things before last season, too. I'm sure he said that, because I'm not saying he's a hypocrite. I think you're right. He really believes that he's grown in this way. But come on, if they start out 2-4 with that crazy beginning part of the schedule, You telling me he's going to stay positive and with everybody, and he's not going to yell at his receivers and all that? Of course not.
Okay, Rodgers also calling his shot here a little bit on just how high the expectations are for the Jets and what's the one thing that could derail them.
We got to temper expectations early on in camp and focus on the little things to get there. An old coach of mine said our greatest difficulty is going to be handling success, and I think that'll be true this year for us, because obviously last year they had a good start to the season and couldn't finish it off, and if we want to be playing in January, we got to be consistent throughout the season.
That's going to be your biggest difficulty? Have you met the Jets? The Jets will find a way to have 50 other crazy difficulties that you can't even imagine right now. We will find ourselves, no matter who is the quarterback, we will find ourselves in a situation where you're like, that is a story about the Jets and the Jets only.
Yeah, I mean, also, too, it's been well documented. The first half of their schedule is really tough. The second half is really easy. So how is that going to affect what he's saying? You know, handling success, how are they going to handle? I mean, listen, they start Buffalo, at Dallas, New England, Kansas City, at Denver, which I know Denver is inconsistent. But
should be better this year.
But it's at Denver. That's like one of the hardest places to play. Then Philly. So, I mean, everyone's saying this could be a 2-4 start, and this still could be a good team. They'll be fine. But how would they? I get what he's saying about success. That is a smart thing to say, because
but what makes you think the success is coming first is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying, how are they going to handle, how is he going to handle adversity? Yeah, in July, this all sounds great. I'm very curious if he, say he gets hit a few times, is he going to be all kumbaya with his offensive line like he's saying he's going to be? Maggie, do you buy it?
No, I don't, because it's all going to come on him, and he hasn't experienced the pylon yet. Now, listen, to their credit, the pylon may never come. This is a very good team, right? They have the pieces. They're young. The defense is good. The coach, I'm not sold on, because I think he makes a lot of mistakes in game, but you could have 1 year older, 1 year wiser. He was a first-time head coach when he got hired by the Jets, Robert Saleh. So this could all go really well for them. Listen, they come out of the gates, they beat Buffalo. It's going to be like a rocket ship for the Jets.
A meaningless rocket ship. A week 1 win, it's probably more deceiving than meaning anything. Actually, first of all, too, there is a large national media contingent who follows the Jets, so they will turn it into a rocket ship. But here's the other thing, too. The downside of all that attention is going to be if they lose in the divisional round, they're going to get killed. And that's probably – now, I know that's unfair. You said it. They're a young team. But think about it. The Cowboys lost in the divisional round. They got killed. Your Buffalo Bills –
yeah, but the Cowboys have been knocking on the door. Bills have been knocking on the door. Jets have been irrelevant playoffs-wise for a decade.
Because Aaron Rodgers is getting there and promising a Lombardi trophy. They're missing that in between. No one's giving them that time to build. They're saying it has to be right now. So that's the problem. When Aaron Rodgers gets up there and says the Lombardi trophy – has been lonely, then you're not giving them any runway to build. They have to do it right now.
Okay, but why wouldn't he think he could microwave a championship? I watched Tom Brady microwave one. I watched Matthew Stafford microwave one. Maybe he thinks like if Brady, who he sees as obviously a peer, Stafford, I'm sure Rodgers thinks he's better than. If those guys can do it, why can't I do it?
Well, it's a great point, and he could do it. But here's the thing, because you're saying that, if he doesn't do it, people are going to rip the team. Divisional round will be a huge disappointment for them. Listen, I'm a Sixers fan. They always go out in the divisional round. It's always disappointing. So normally, you're right. There should be a building process where you get some playoff wins under your belt. The other thing is, how long do you have here, Maggie? You have 2 years. So I think he's got to win and win big. It's got to be this year or next year. So I think if he doesn't get to at least a conference title game, it's going to be really bad after the season. Think about him at Green Bay. It was really bad when he lost those divisional games. They were home, and you're right, they had been knocking on the door, but this is setting up. The more everybody loves Aaron now, the more they're going to get mad if he doesn't win big time here in New York.
My thing is, a curveball is coming. I don't know when. I'm not sure what it's going to be. But I feel like I've been doing this long enough to know that when you add the New York Jets with an Aaron Rodgers, and curveballs come with NFL seasons all the time. A curveball is coming. I don't know what it is, but it's like, in a presidential election, there's always the October surprise. Like, something is going to happen, and I'm just not sure if it's going to be for the positive for the Jets or for the negative. But something's coming.
I think I know what the curveball is already.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah, you're jumping on the Jets bandwagon. Look at your shirt. You're all gangrene today.
You're jumping on the Jets.
I mean, you're jumping off the Bills, and you're jumping right on with Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson and Quinnen Williams. I mean, join the team, Maggie. Thank you,
Rodgers
welcome.
did say everyone's welcome on the bandwagon. I was like, ooh, careful about that. Because as Perloff will tell you, it is just as easy to exit that bandwagon as it is to enter.
I've never met a Jets fan outside of New York. Like, I've met millions different guys. Nobody randomly becomes a Jets fan.
No. It's like Bills fans. You're born into it. Like, it's very rare.
Oh.
Well, now with Josh Allen, kids
Josh
love
Allen.
it. But there's some fan bases like Philadelphia who just becomes an Eagles fan out of like the clear blue sky.
I think you're not a lot of people, but a lot more than Jets fans. I think the Eagles have at least some national popularity.
I think the only teams that people have like love all over the country or even all over the world are the Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Packers or Raiders,
and the Packers and the Raiders. Yep,
And
those are the four.
the Patriots are there too, only because of what happened. There's Patriot fans all over the world right now.
I'm more with
That might be
Sam there. I think
fleeting,
Josh Allen, it's not, the Bills are very popular too.
Yeah, but those people couldn't find Buffalo on a map.
But I'm
It
saying
has
if
nothing to do with the actual Bills.
I don't think I could either.
If you're a 9-year-old kid in Cheyenne, Wyoming, you're going to buy a Josh Allen jersey. There's
Probably
no
Mahomes.
way you might buy. No, but I'm telling you, we've been in the draft. There's lots of Josh Allen jerseys. It's second or third best selling jersey. You're never going to buy a Jets jersey. There's just no Jets player. It's not going to happen. You might buy Hurts is popular. You know, those are best selling jerseys. The Jets probably haven't had a nationally best selling jersey since
Tebow.
Yeah.
And that was
Definitely a team.
I mean, it's not a disaster, but it wasn't a success.